I hear that.
There we go. Now we're live. Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here with AOV Strats, powered by AOV Stats. My name is DJ Helsing. I'm here with our guests, Out of Control, Flappy Birds, and Anesthetics for today's stream.
Hello.
How have you guys been?
We're doing pretty well. How are you?
Friday.
Doing good.
Friday. And yes, I can confirm I'm alive. I have a pulse.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the stream, everybody. We're hanging out, having fun, having a good time. We're going to be diving into some statistical analysis and some stats and some strats here with AOV Stats. And who are we going to be talking about today? Who are we going to be focusing on, Flappy Birds?
We're going to...
Or Out of Control?
Flappy Bird. Floppy Baby. Take it away.
It's all right. Is he here today or not?
Oh, no, he's not here. So I'm doing it. We're
Got it.
going to be talking about the Suit of Armor and the Conqueror. We're going to be talking about Arduin and Lubu.
Got
what they're commonly known as. I think we've gone through a lot of champions. We've gone through heroes with a lot of engage. We've gone through heroes with a lot of tank ability. We've gone through heroes that have a lot of magical damage. And I think to change it up, we're going to go with heroes with a lot of fighting and bruising sustain. These are two champions that have a lot of life steals in their kits. So we're going to give them different arcana to reflect that. We're going to play them a bit differently. These are champions that usually tend to be lonesome warriors in a top lane or maybe even the jungle, but they really are a fury in fights. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to get messy.
Yay.
Well, let's dive on in. It looks like we do have Flappy Adult, aka Flappy Baby, on Twitch chat. So for those of you guys that are missing him on stream, he's on Twitch chat. If everyone wants to say hi to him. But Out of Control, who do we want to start on today? Do you want to talk a little bit about Arduin first? Do you want to dive into Lubu? What's a good starting point? What do you think?
Choose. If she's going with Lubu, I'm going with Lubu. Let's talk about the Conqueror.
All right, Mr. Lubu.
So Lubu is, great champion. Loves the aesthetics. He's a very attack-focused champion. Every time he auto-attacks something, he gets a little bit of a refresh. He has a multi-part combo move that's really cool. It has a lot of utility to it. And his ultimate is just a huge heck of a ton of lifesteal. So already you think attack speed, tank, punch people in the faces, and deal and take a lot of names. So you can build damage with him. You can build a bit of tank with him. But you're definitely going to want to play for the lifesteal component. So we'll dive into his abilities if you say yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So the first ability, I might have mentioned it, is Martial Master. So whenever he hits an ability or a normal attack on an enemy, one of his skills, Impale, is on a reduced cooldown. So right off the bat, attack speed. We're getting already a sense that Lubu synergizes really well with punching things. His next move is called Red Stallion, and this is a three-part combo. This is a three-part ability. So if you land each of these, each tick of this ability, each cast will reduce the cooldown of Impale by 1 second, which is really good. That's a total of 3 free seconds off of Impale's cooldown. It's a really nice ability. I would recommend leveling it second, though, because Impale is the ability that you're going to be getting the most cooldown with, and you really want to play to that. Very important thing to note about Red Stallion is that you get a little bit of a dash in the direction with each use of this ability. And the final cast is a knockup. So this is actually a pretty cool, engaged sort of way to weed your way into a fight, kind of like Raz, and then slam out with that third cast.
Yeah,
right?
sends people in the air.
Sends people in the air. It's
you can use it to get away quickly.
And you can also, this is just a really nice spammable ability. You should spam it all the time. It's tempting. You could, I would say it's an either or between Red Stallion and leveling Red Stallion first, or the second ability, which we're just about to talk about. But it's an up in the air sort of thing. That's a cool thing about Lubu, is that he's not really restrained to a single thing, except killing things. This thing does a lot.
I agree.
So true.
kill first to slow him down.
The second ability, the one that I was talking so much about, is Impale. It's a good damage attack, and it's a range attack that slows an enemy. It sends out a little spear that damages everything in its path and slows them for a period of time. Very standard, but it's got a high cooldown at 12 seconds. And so you really kind of get the idea of, man, I really got to punch a lot of people in the face or stab them by spear or use Red Stallion to really get the full use of this ability out. And it can be a very powerful ability. Impale does quite a bit of damage. And, okay, turn it down. And it can really lend itself in most fights, picking out people, throwing out damage. So this is obviously standard. I would recommend leveling it first. And you go from there. This is really good for just trying to get in or keeping up with that enemy. It's also really good to just throw out for a zoning, because what do you know? Lu Bu doesn't use any mana. So all of his abilities are made for free, and so you should always be trying to impale anything, really.
Awesome.
Okay, now we're getting into the ultimate, which is the fun part, Conquer. So this is an ability that when activated, you increase Lu Bu's attack damage, and you give him a regeneration and resistance bonus for a period of time. So this is a really interesting buff that really speaks, okay, you're going to be building him a lot of damage. I can see that. You're wanting to auto-attack. I can see that. Let me give you some free resistances and tankability and survivability in the middle of the fight that you can abuse. So definitely, level this whenever you can. But this really speaks to Lu Bu's role as a fighter. You really want to jump in, and and you really want to throw out a lot of damage with this. So, awesome. Get in a fight, use this. This is primarily you use once you're in the mask of 5 minutes. So, pretty standard ultimate.
Well, why don't we dive into a match? I mean, he's a pretty straightforward hero. Use that ultimate, you get stronger, you get that life steal, you get that attack boost. You have your Impale, you can blast, just blast on through with that attack, and then of course you have your stun. Well, I guess it's not really a stun, it's the dash. The dash, that's what I'm thinking about. Which you can do 3 times, and that's going to be pretty neat. But let's get into a match. We are on the North American server. We got some folks joining us all over the internet, and let's get them in a match. We want you guys to join us here. Out of control, go ahead and take that first position if you can, hitting that switch button. There you go. And then we'll get a bunch of other folks in here and have some fun. Let's play this match, see what Lu Bu's all about. We can talk through his ability as we go. It should be pretty fun. And we want to see you guys. We want to play with you guys here on AOV Stats. So let's see. We got 4 people. We only have a couple more spots open. Awesome. Awesome. We'll get that started in just a second. 3 spots to go. 2 more people.
Not sure, Hateful Pickle.
Let's see. 2 more open spots, you guys. We got some folks jumping on here. We'll get this going in just a minute.
One more.
There it is.
One more spot.
Let's do this. Oh, 1 person left. We'll get that filled in pretty quick. Lots of folks at home that want to join in. So join on in. If you guys are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, we are on the North American server. This is AOV Stats. We are here with our friends at AOV Stats. Just doing some behind the scenes, I guess you could say tips and tricks, getting some info from the folks over at AOV Stats about their thoughts on how to best play some of your most favorite heroes. This week we are talking about Lu Bu. And then we'll also be talking about Arduin as well a little bit later. So be sure to stick around for that. Looks like we have enough folks. So let's get the party started. We're going to try something different here and go to a full screen mode for the match. So you guys can check out the action a little bit better on your screens at home. So we got, Out of Control picking first ban, Creshed. So what makes you want to ban Creshed first? Out of Control.
Crush is a great engaged sort of character, and he has really nice ability to dive back line. And I just want to be the guy who dives the back line. I want to be the guy who's fighting and punching faces and doing all that sort of jams. And Crush has his ultimate, which is a good sort of zoning ability and a diving ability. It's got a lot of foundation for that. So I just don't really like dealing with that, and so I would prefer not to deal with that. So I'm banning him out.
Makes sense. Cool. And as always, you know, if you're participating in the event, we ask that you please don't choose Lubu, and you don't ban Lubu. That way he can play as Lubu. But it looks like we're already past that. We got Butterfly as the first pick for the red team. You know, like you were talking about with Lubu's skills, that Martial Master, I guess you say passive, getting that skill reduction cooldown for Impale every single time he gets an ability or normal attack landed is pretty huge. Because that means that you can build up that Impale even faster. I mean, looking at a hero like Grak that you're going to be fighting against, that's a great opportunity because you hit that Impale, Lubu flies forward, he deals that 250 plus damage, and he reduces their movement speed by 50% for 2 seconds. And by reducing that movement speed, slowing your opponent down, you can get in there after impaling them and utilize that Red Stallion up to 3 times to attack them and just, I guess you could say, dash forward or lunge forward, hitting him 3 different times in a row and then knocking him in the air, which is essentially a stun or it's a control ability. So
it's a great control ability because you can't cleanse out. You can't cleanse out of it. You can't escape from it. It's always going to be there when it's there, and it's also an AOE. If you're lucky enough to get a massive couple of enemies, you will do a multiple damage sort of crowd control ability. So yeah, you always want to be throwing out whatever you can. Impale is so important. So that's why attack speed and cruisability is really good on Lubu. That's why I would say, run abilities like Skewer. I mean, get an Arcana like Skewer or Gorilla on Lubu because they give him that movement speed and that attack speed that he really benefits from.
Definitely. I know we didn't talk much about Arcana earlier because we wanted to get right into the match. But in addition to like attack speed and like you were saying, what other Arcana's like stats or skills would you build towards?
Well, I mentioned Skewer and Gorilla. For Red Arcana, I would say something like Indomitable would be really good. Anything that really adds to his attack speed. Giving a bit of health is also kind of okay with an Indomitable because Lubu's ultimate, it gives him that 20% resistance from everything, so more health is always kind of good. So Lubu can really play to anything because 20% pure resistance off of an ultimate is just already really neat, and a regeneration off of that is so very versatile because you can pair 20% resistance with armor, you can pair 20% resistance with health, you can pair it with so many things. We're just playing damage and attack speed because 20% resistance is going to be 20% resistance no matter how you cut it. So Lubu's that sort of jack of all trades in that sense. But attack speed is always a must for him because of his passive and Impale.
And with his ultimate giving additional lifesteal, what's your thoughts on a lifesteal focused build?
Lifesteal, well, that's the great thing. So things like Fernhurst Talon is good, but really, you really want to go invest in the damage. So I would recommend So I just recommend damage. You don't really have to invest fully in attack in lifesteal because your attack speed is that component of the lifesteal. Every time you auto attack, you do get health back. So that's what you really want to pull for is with Lubu.
Awesome. So it looks like we got a pretty interesting match. Starting off in the bottom lane, we have Grak partnering up with Violet to try to clear that lane. You have Arthur and Alice holding that lane as well. So it'll be a little bit of an interesting 2 versus 2 down here. In the mid lane, Lubu doing some jungling. Looks like you're coming back to that mid lane to help hold that for a little bit while Yorn is running up to catch up with you. It looks like we do have Mina in that top lane going up against Wonder Woman. That's going to be interesting, especially since over the last weekend at the CSSA event, we saw how powerful Wonder Woman can be in the top lane solo. She's a very, very agile hero, very powerful, and in the right hands can definitely hold the line. So it's cool seeing her in action this way. Let's see, where's that 5th hero? I must be missing somebody. Oh, no, there he is. Yeah, there's Yorn. Okay, there he is. Yorn taking that middle lane.
He's with us.
Yeah. Not much going on right now, just lots of farming. An interesting thing, you can see the levels. Butterfly's farm has already gotten her up to level 4. She's doing a great job on her jungling and farming, so it'll be interesting to see when she comes into the action. We haven't seen her yet. There she is, up there with Wonder Woman pushing hard against that top lane, against Mina, taking her down for first blood on the red team. you know, knowing Lubu, you see Chugnar, Abyssal Dragons popping, Chugnar running down there to support the bottom lane. As Lubu, do you see yourself more as that I guess you could say roaming hero going between lanes, or do you want to focus more on jungling? What's your thoughts?
It's a difficult balance to make. As a jungler, you have a lot of sustain with you know, your innate lifesteal and your power farming ability. But as you saw, Butterfly beat me to it in a sense. I dealt with the elephant guy in mid lane, and I wanted to move around, but I think that Lubu can handle both. And just as my red buff gets stolen, that's not cool. So you get punished to last hit those jungle creeps. I'm just going to throw that out there, because I didn't.
Yeah, punish is a very interesting trait. You know, utilizing it at the right time is very, very critical. We got Arthur taking a lot of damage from Violet. Chugnar finally coming in with some attacks, missed, allowing Arthur to get out of there while Grak is handling the minions. I don't know, not the most coordinated attack, but it could be worse. Lubu's powering up with Mina pushing hard against Wonder Woman, trying to get back that kill. Oh no! It looks like Mina's fallen.
No good. I tried to run in and yeah, she was not quick on the draw. I was hoping that Mina would have been able to engage, but she didn't. So that's unfortunate.
Looks like Red's pushing hard on that bottom lane as well, clearing that full lane. They might even be going for the jungle. Alice getting her circle out there, which is insane, the amount of damage that thing does. Let's see what's going on up top. First tower falls to the red team. Mina's pulling back to regroup with her minions. I don't know, 0 versus 3, 3,000 gold differential.
Already?
Yeah, 3 minutes in. Definitely a big advantage in the red team, but it's, you know, it's still anyone's game. It's not over yet. I'm
going to try and focus on Dragon at this point. That's very important.
Yeah, getting that Abyssal Dragon would be a nice swing. A nice swing.
But unfortunately, we're just losing members. It's a 4v5 right now. I can't really guarantee an advantage in any place in the map. I'm going to try and get onto this.
There we go.
At very least, we got one. But Chugnar's here. It's a 4v5. It's a 4v4 still. We can't really get anything out of it, I don't think.
Grak fell, but at the cost of Arthur. The red team's continuing to push in. Their minions thankfully aren't there, so they weren't able to do much tower damage. Alice finishing out that wave. There's Yorn coming in. A little bit too late, but we'll see. Hopefully he can bring some strength back to the blue team to help them get that kill. Maybe even steal.
Speaking of Dragon...
You gonna go for the steal?
It's not worth it at this point. I'm probably just gonna die, and I was lower in level compared to the butterfly. It's probably gonna go to her regardless, which is painful, unfortunate, and somewhat to be expected when you're all the way when the enemy team all just grouped down bot. But I love you.
Ooh, Chugnar taking some good damage there. Wonder Woman dishing out the hits against Mina. Far out leveled Mina. Level 9 to level 6 Mina. I'll have to say the XP differential has been pretty significant this round. 1 to 6. Missed hook. Good opportunity for the blue team there. Arthur coming back down. Trying to get in some of that action. How's it going, Twitch? How's it going, Facebook? How's it going, YouTube? Lots of people saying hi. Lots of folks saying hi. Awesome. Glad you guys can all join us today for our Arena of Valor Strats stream, powered by our friends at ALV Stats. Wow. Ooh, taking lots of damage there.
Yeah,
Yorn.
got caught out by the Wonder Woman. That was a good pick. I'm going for a more jungle build where I'm trying to build up my stabby. But unfortunately, once I committed to that, I was kind of hoping for a stalled out game, and it's going pretty bad for the rest of my team. So I don't know. I'm pretty stuck either farming my jungle creeps to stack up my my jungle item, or spending more time in lane and helping the rest of my team. It's a difficult sort of balance I'm trying to maintain here. Not doing it too well right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Red team's pushing hard on that bottom lane. Grak and Violet are doing a great job comboed together. Butterfly coming in and trying to steal that might buff along with Chugnar. Looks like they are able to take it. While the blue team clears that center lane. Now you got the minions down that bottom lane. This is one of those opportunities where the red team is probably going to push hard against Arthur, taking him down, while also potentially doing some major damage to the tower. It looks like they're pulling away from the tower. They ended up going with that Alice kill.
I would rather have them get the Alice kill than to get the cat tower kill, but I think this is kind of certainty at this point. I'm pretty out-leveled by all of the opponents, especially the butterfly. The jungle butterfly is doing a very good job of staying up at a high level. She's level 12 compared to my 9, which is really difficult and hard to deal with as a jungler. One of the most annoying things is being behind in experience, because then your punish doesn't do as much damage.
Yeah. Dr. Von Boogie, unfortunately, the answer is no. Not yet.
Oof.
What do you think? Well, I'll ask you in a minute, out of control. I'll let you focus on the game here.
Yeah.
Where's Lou? There he is.
You can bother me with a question. I'm just here.
It's all good. Boom, there's that first.
Not just yet. Now.
Boom.
There it goes.
Alright, lots of damage being dealt. Red team doing some nasty damage to the blue team. Unfortunately, this match is not in your favor.
No, it is not.
But at least we got to see what Lubu can do. There's the hook. See, that's a good opportunity for Lubu to hit that ultimate, but unfortunately,
yeah, in a normal match, if you're in a good situation, Grak hooking you into the enemy team is a great boon. Unfortunately, there I wasn't really in the position or the capability to roll with that. Yeah.
Especially with Butterfly right there. Oh, man. Alright, a blue tower fell somewhere, somehow. There it is.
Well, we're looking for red towers to fall. I really want a red tower to fall. But unfortunately, a red tower isn't going to fall anytime soon.
I haven't seen a game with no towers on one side in a long time. I don't mean that. Just
hey, don't rub it in, man.
Nah, you know what? It's all good. As long as you're having fun. As long as you're having fun, as long as you're learning, that's the whole point. And that's the point of this stream, is to talk about these heroes and to show off their skills in action. And to give you guys an opportunity to have some fun and be live on stream as well. So, wow, there goes Lubu from Chugnar. This is an opportunity for that red team. They got the minions in the middle lane. They got the minions coming up in the bottom lane. There she goes, Violet trying to go down against that tower, helping support her minions. Grak takes the final blow on that tower, and this is that opportunity for red team to finish this off, and they go in for the kill. Awesome match for the red team. Congratulations. Great job, you guys.
Good job, red team.
Good job, red team. So
good job, red. I'm not.
I was going to say, hopefully you guys learned something about Lubu. You got to see him in action there. Do you have anything else you want to add, out of control, or anesthetics about Lubu before we move on to our next hero of the day?
Yeah, let's move on to it. Arduin, he's also a lifesteal guy. He's also benefits a lot from attack speed. He's also a guy that really wants to jump to a fight. There are some really key differences between him and Lubu, however. So, yeah, I'm all for that. I think as a side note at the end of Lubu is that he is a guy who can play both the jungle and lane really well. I took him jungle that time. Definitely try him out in lane. In that sort of situation, I would recommend a more offensive sort of talent like Blink or a Flicker or Roar or maybe even, heck, I don't know, Execute. All these skills are, all these talents are also all really play to Lubu's skill set. So really experiment with this champion. he's got a very solid kit that rewards a lot of different playstyles. So definitely experiment with him with a lot. Check out a guide. There are a lot of different guides out there that try out all the different sort of aspects of Lu Bu. So I think he's a great champion. I think you should try and learn him.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I'll go ahead and drop a Lu Bu guide in the chat for you guys. So you guys can check that out. And
one of the many. You should always look for more Lu Bu guides, or maybe write your own.
Wrong link. I'll update it in a second. But speaking of Arduin, why don't we dive into Arduin, and I'll get that link sent out for everyone else for Lu Bu. Why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
Arduin, he's a living suit of armor. He's pretty darn cool. His passive is pretty unique or different than most other passives because it actually has an internal cooldown on it. So the passive is known as Bloodlust, and if he ever falls below 50% HP, Arduin goes nuts. Just absolutely crazy. And everything about him, every sort of ability that he lands will grant him 2% of his maximum HP back. So he gets a cool sort of survivability mechanic, but it's gated with a pretty hefty cooldown. So 60 seconds is kind of nuts. So really sort of quantify and be careful, maybe play towards cooldown items, but understanding when Bloodlust is, something that will activate is definitely very important for you. Also, a very important note is that if you're below 50% HP, when this cooldown refreshes, it will automatically proc. So you have to be really careful and sometimes go back to base so that you don't just waste your special, your passive by just farming creeps. It's no good. So this is a very tricksy and different sort of champion than Lu Bu because you have this whole fourth ability that you have to manage and a fourth cooldown that you have to pay attention to. So yeah, that's cool. I really like it. It's a really game-changing ability. If you just run to a fight, people try and burst you down, and Bloodlust procs, your regen goes straight up. You deal more damage. You get just a 2% max health regeneration. It's kind of a synthesis of Lu Bu's ultimate and Tara's ultimate, where you get percent health back for just landing abilities.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So definitely, once again, this is a guy that wants to punch a lot. Definitely go for attack speed because every ability you get 2%. Every ability or every auto attack you get 2% health back. So it basically rhymes. Do it.
Nice.
Do it.
That's a pretty dope ability. Being able to get that extra 2% at the right time can really do a big difference. And then the fact that it comes right back.
100%. If you land an auto attack 50 times in this ability, you get your entire health bar back. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the next ability.
All right, Rend. This one's pretty cool. It's a two-parter. If you, the first attack is a line projectile. It goes out and hits a bunch of things. But if it hits an enemy champion, you can reactivate it to do a ground pound. So that's really cool. It's an ability that just is like a general sort of way clear thing. But if you hit an enemy champion, you can charge up this crazy good damaging ability that deals a crowd control of a knockup. So this is really good. I would recommend to level this one first. But as you'll see with the next ability is that Arduin can also, like Lu Bu, go both ways. I would recommend this ability because it's the massive crowd control, and it does a nice hefty amount of damage. But if you want, you can also play to the tankier side of Arduin, which is his second ability, Undying Protector. He gets a shield and deals magical damage. It's a cool little mechanic where he deals magical damage on the creation of the shield and magical damage on the end of the shield. And while this shield is in place, he deals 100 true damage per auto attack. So his auto attacks are enhanced with a bunch of extra damage. And hey, this sounds like a pretty good ability to build attack speed with, right? And this is really good for champions that aren't brawlers. This is a really good counter to the brawler archetype, while giving Arduin some really good brawling potential. It's also a shield of 10% or 12% of his maximum health, which is fantastic. Cool. And yeah, I see no problem in in leveling this as well. It can also when it's in effect, every auto attack reduces his ultimate coal by 1 second. So there's a cooldown refresh mechanic to this ability as well. So like Lu Bu and his passive, martial arts, Undying Protector actually gives him some cooldown as well. So, you know, you can also get Undying Protector and max this one as his first skill, but it's up to you. This is another wonderful champion that has multiple styles of playing. So, you know, go at it, I'd say. This is a really powerful ability to use during an engage. Throwing it out there and dealing a bunch of true damage is always good, so it's always a good ability to activate.
And the fact that it ties into that next ultimate is also pretty nice too. Being able to knock down that cooldown by 3 seconds.
Crazy. And his ultimate is also a really cool cooldown. He throws out his axe, and after a period of time, he lands there and deals a bunch of damage. It's really cool. It's really cool, but the cool thing about it is that he becomes immune to every sort of CC effect imaginable when he's using it. So this is the sort of engage ability that's the ultimate engage ability, because when he decides to engage, he's engaging. He's going to go to that spot whether anyone wants it or not. You know, if you activate this ability and you activate it off of the face of the earth, you're going off the face of the earth whether you like it or not. Arduin is going to engage and go to that location. It jumps over all terrain. It's an incredibly good ability, but it also has a delay. So you have to plan this one out a little strategically. You might want to do this from a bush, for example. If you want to do it outside your enemy's vision, this would be a really good ability. So, this is really simple sort of ultimate to think of, but in its larger context, it's actually really powerful and really useful for Arduin.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into a match and show off Arduin. If you guys are on the North American server, you can join us. Let me see if I can get you an invite. Hop on into that server 2081. We'd love to have you guys join us for this match. We'll go ahead and get started in just a second here with Out of Control Anesthetics.
Against me?
That Greg in that last round, that last match did a pretty good job, definitely. Fish Brain. Lots of people asking questions online.
I'll take the questions.
Let's see here. Where can I find a good team to play? Good question. As it's booting up, I think it's a good opportunity to go ahead and pitch the Discord channel. If you guys can go ahead and, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can type !Discord in the chat to get a link to our official Discord channel. And you can go into our Team Finder section where you can find other players that are looking to form up new teams. So it's a great opportunity to find new players, make some new friends, and to hop in teams with other folks, especially coming into our upcoming esports season. We're going to have a lot of cool announcements coming out soon about more esports activities, but as I'm sure some of you have seen, we did have our CSSA collegiate tournament this last weekend, which was super fun. And then just yesterday at South by Southwest, we had another collegiate tournament down in Texas as well. So this is just a start. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. And so it's a great time to put together a team and find some new friends. So definitely recommend going over to Team Finder. But let's see this match. We got no bans on the red side. We have Ryoma ban and of course Arduin as that first pick. There's Lu Bu. Awesome. We're gonna see Lu Bu versus Out of Control playing Arduin.
Maybe if we get into the same lane, that would be very interesting.
Definitely. For all of our folks at home, does anyone have any thoughts about our strategies so far, about our show? Please be sure to let us know. !Survey can get you access to a little survey where you can give us your feedback about our streams. I'll go ahead and drop the Arduin link in the chat as well, where you guys can check out a great article talking all about Arduin on AOVstats.com. And I'll go ahead and paste it over on Facebook in just a second as well.
Why, thank you so much.
Well, that's why it's a partnership, right? We're working together to get the best information out to our fans and to everyone that's playing the game so that we all can learn and grow better. But looking at this,
and they deserve the best.
They do deserve the best. Speaking of picks and bans, what's your thoughts on the picks and bans so far?
Well, it's interesting. I think that L'Oreal, I think we have a great, nice, little diverse team. We've got the new hero Max on our team. We've got Crash, we've got L'Oreal, so our team's actually looking really good in terms of engage. On the other side, our opponents have a Chungar, they have a Violet. They've got a lot of harass, and they got Jiao Chan, which also is kind of a good champion for preventing engages. So I'm really interested to see how this will turn out. We have a jungler. I'm not sure what their jungler. It looks like their jungler will be Macron. So looks like a fun matchup.
It's great seeing Max in play. He just came out today in EU and North America, so he's now available for everyone at home. He's going to be a very interesting hero. Has some cool ways of engaging his opponents, which is a little bit different than the norm. The super rockets, so that's a pretty cool twist and new abilities. So seeing that is going to be very interesting, especially with Chugnar and Dao Chan. And of course, L'Oreal showing off that Valentine Love Sworn skin. I do think it's funny how Talanis showing off the skin. L'Oreal next to Talanis, both of their hair flows together there. It looks like
yeah, it almost looks like they're dancing
plume
with each other.
Yeah,
they both have their arms outstretched to one another.
yeah, and L'Oreal's hair goes into Arthur's like.
And to his mane, to his massive cape.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, is it maybe?
That's a pretty interesting combination. I'd love to see what other combinations are out there. If anyone at home wants to go ahead and drop us some tweets with some cool
Arduin
combinations.
and Crush is a pretty good combination, I'd say.
Yeah. Love to retweet you guys on that. Just a couple seconds left for Crushed and Chugnar as they load into the map. And we're off. Let's go big screen here. Let's dive into the match.
Alright, I'm going to run off the Dark Slayer lane. I'm going to be just a lonely warrior up there. I want to really help out. As you may know, Arduin's crowd control abilities make him really valuable in team fights and make him a pretty nasty guy to deal with. But as a laner, he has to brave the Lone Frontier on his lonesome. Hopefully, I'm not going to deal against two players, but you know, luckily for me, I do have my rend ability, which is ranged, and it is nice.
Yes. Looks like we do have Lubu going up against that Seagull and Arduin in that top lane. Down in the bottom lane, we have the Talanis and Violet Marksman Showdown. We got Chugnar joining in for Violet there. No surprise there. L'Oreal pushing that center lane. Very strong hero, especially in the center, in the mid lane. She can do some massive damage in the mid if she's played right.
Massive heals too. She's got a lot of ability in her kit.
Definitely. Her heals are insane. I think it's what, every attack?
No, every
ability.
Fourth ability landed on a specific champion. It's really neat. We just played her last week.
That's right.
Pretty cool.
Let's see. In the top lane, we do have Arduin continuing to keep that push. Lubu going back to the jungle. L'Oreal being joined by Max in the mid lane. What's Max going to do? Is he going to stay silent, or is he going to blast in there? We'll find out in just a second. Down to the bottom lane, we do have Crashed going up alongside Talanis, being able to clear that lane, get those minions up there against that tower for Violet to deal with. Abyssal Dragon spawn with Chugnar coming back down to join Violet. Still no deaths on either side, so this is going to be an interesting match. Dao Chan just...
Would you believe it?
Yeah. Dao Chan doing her thing in the center, but Arduin and Lubu clashing again in the top lane. Let's see what else is going on here. Natcroft and Max running into each other for a little bit of tit for the tap, but not much damage coming out on Max on that one. Spirit Sentinel, looks like we got to team up against the Spirit Sentinel, getting that first objective of the game once he falls.
Why not?
Crash, unable to escape that tower. Got too close for comfort. Got killed. Technically the first death on the blue team. but not credited because it was not a hero death.
Close. I missed my ultimate. I ran into. I was able to get the damage on Lubu, but I wasn't able to get the stun from my Cole ability. So Lubu lives to fight another day. That's my bad. It was really good catch by Max, but I wasn't able to follow up on
You
it.
see that first attack helping me get away.
9 damage? Anywho, you may have noticed I already procced my my Bloodlust ability. Hey, this Lubu's annoying. He's also a level above me because, not anymore, but he did. So I was being a little risky there by trying to pick a fight with him because you really have to pay attention to levels, and Lubu can really be a pain and a terror if you're under-leveled against him. Any champion is.
Definitely. L'Oreal still holding strong in that center lane. Like we were mentioning earlier, L'Oreal is a really solid hero. Very, very, very popular pick in the current meta. We talked a little bit about her yesterday or last week in our AoE Strats stream. It's definitely one of the most popular heroes right now. Mainly because
that's a good reason.
110 HP after this explosion, and that happens every 4 marks. And those marks go down every time she utilizes, or every time she hits an enemy with her ability. So it's the first death or second. Oh, maybe even
third. Where have you been, man?
I know. I'm paying too much attention to the center lane. Crush going ultimate. Talana's continuing to push that damage on that Violet, unable to take out Violet. Yeah, look away at it from the screen for just a couple seconds, and what do you know? There's some massive KO.
There's so much death, so much loss.
I know.
Nacroft ganked me up top, and he did a really good job. One of the important things to know about Arduin's Cole is that he throws his axe and it hits the first enemy that it comes across. So if you are unlucky enough to have someone step up in front of you, your entire your entire ability gets interrupted. So so Nacroft prevented my entire escape by using my ultimate. So Cole is a really good escape tool, but it's also something that can be stopped. It does have counterplay in which the enemy heroes an enemy tank, say Chugnar for example, can get in front of the axe, body block it, and take the stun for the team. I think he has his ultimate, which he can use to just remove it, right? Remove any sort of stun or anything. So Arduin can really be stopped and prevented from getting this Cole ability onto important carries like Talanis or Violet. So Nacroft played that really well. Nacroft is already a very quick sort of... Oh dear, we lost Dragon. Nacroft's already a pretty quick jungler, so it was a really good play by him. Hats off, sir.
Definitely. Arduin going down to the center again. Getting some jungling in. L'Oreal still just focusing on the clear with Dao-Chan doing the same on her side. Chugnar able to fully clear that bottom lane, but Crush thankfully able to come back and defend that tower in time. Wow, looks like Max ultimated in, flew in just to get killed. But that's alright. He took the opportunity to fly in. One of the things with Max is he's really tricky. That ultimate where he flies, he can choose any hero and basically fly straight to them and then attack them. It's all about timing, right? If the hero is able to run into the tower by the time he's flying to him, that can be very detrimental to Max. If he doesn't time it right, and a couple other teammates are able to join up with the hero that he targeted, it can easily turn him from a 1-to-1 versus to like a 3-to-1, and not in the advantage of Max. So it's all about timing. It's very, very, very important.
Timing is key.
Definitely. Definitely.
So Lubu did something really well. He engaged upon me and brawled with me to the point where I lost or my Bloodlust proc, and then he's simply disengaged. That's probably one of the best things that you can do against Arduin, is to get that Bloodlust passive of his proc, and then just simply run away. He might regenerate most of his health through auto-attacking and other sort of methods, but as long as you don't put yourself in Arduin's path, you're pretty safe. And that was a really good job. That enables you to take fights later in the game where Arduin doesn't have his passive, doesn't have something that's so really key to his entire playstyle.
Definitely. Looks like we got that Abyssal Dragon kill going to the red team, giving them a nice boost.
They've been boosted pretty well.
Yes, we do see the Twitch chat, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know on Twitch chat or on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter. We are checking out the chat throughout the stream. This stream is a little different than our normal streams because we are focusing on strategy. Specifically today, Lubu and Arduin. We got both of them going up against each other here. Lubu does take down Crash.
It's a war.
Max flies in to knock Crash back a little bit to keep the pressure. And blue team comes.
We were able to win that fight, but we lost the bottom lane, which was unfortunate. That was a really good job done by our L'Oreal and our Talanis to kite out that fight effectively.
Definitely. Very good battle there.
We forgot about that fight. Could have taken that. It's amazing how Cole is on such a short cooldown with Arduin. Oh, geez, it's also amazing how quickly I die in Arduin.
5-man push down the center. Looks like they're redirecting to the... Maybe not to the Dark Slayer.
Dark Slayer is always a good option, but there seem to be invading. L'Oreal. Good job.
Keeping the pressure on that top tower. Trying to get those minions through.
Ooh, good job by Max. I'm all lonely in the great zone. Okay.
Ooh, is he able to get out of there? Looks like he does. Max was... Oh, maybe not. He went back in for some more action. Blue team was able to take down Chugnar. Will Nakroth get out in time? It looks like it. With Dalchan also falling. Wow, talk about a nice little comeback, a little mini comeback for the blue team there.
Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it!
Are they going to steal the kill? They don't. But they are going to push down that center lane. They got the minions to do it. Now let's see how many towers they can take out. They take one out. They still have 8 more seconds. That's long enough to take another tower. It looks like they're splitting. No, they come back. Crush came back in. And there you go. There they go. They attack a tower, so they start getting hit by the tower. So the minions... Actually, no, they have to attack a hero for that to happen. There's no heroes present. But they're still able to take out the tower. That's an interesting thing we saw a lot over this last weekend. Is people literally running in and attacking a tower or attacking another hero next to a tower just so that they would be taking the damage from the tower instead of the minions. So basically tanking the tower so that the minions can do the maximum amount of damage output against that tower. So it's very interesting, you know, throwing your body in front of some bullets in order to get your bullets through the opposing side. It can definitely be, you know, if you don't do it right, it can definitely go against you and not be in your favor.
Yeah, wave management and knowing how to push down a wave and rush it down if you're going for like the win. It's a very interesting. It's a very tricky but very intelligent strategy. Sometimes it can really pay off huge dividends, allow you to win a game that you shouldn't win so quickly. But yeah, it's also got some incredible danger to it.
Oh my god, where's everybody
Speaking of
at?
danger, Crush did his ult. L'Oreal was able to take down Lubu. They're continuing their push. Ooh,
No.
Dalchan takes out L'Oreal. Crash goes down to Nacroft. Chugnar went down to Alanis, but it looks like the red team is going to walk away with 4 kills as Max runs away like the scared child he is.
Excellent stun by Jiachen.
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome.
So here you have red team. Some people might think he's running in circles, but they're not. They're actually waiting for that ballista so they can take out as many towers as possible. There they go. They're trying to take down that tower. They bought as much time as they could. They're pulling back to push up against Max. Oh, Max is able to take down Nacroft. Will Violet take him down as well? It looks like she's running away. Great choice from Max. But looking at that tower, they lost probably 75% of that tower's health just from those few minions that they were able to sneak in there.
Minions are good, but 75% is not 100%. As long as that tower's there, it's still you still have a pulse, which is really good.
That's true. Can still dish out some damage.
And we all like damage.
Let's see what happens here. Looks like blue team's regrouping a little bit, clearing that bottom lane. There's a chance they might take down Abyssal Dragon without any contest. The Dao Chan's coming in, so it's not over yet. If she can try to steal, no, she doesn't. Blue team gets the kill. Pushing back towards that center lane for some more action. We got blue and red hitting hard. Here it comes. Boom, there's that hook. What type of hook was that? Oh no, that was a dash, wasn't it?
That was Cole. That was the Cole active.
Dash. It looks like a hook visually, but it's a dash. That was pretty cool.
Oh man.
L'Oreal taking the Chugnar.
Hurt.
Keep Lubu going, taking him right back. Lots of pressure and damage against Crash as Crash falls. Wow. Only L'Oreal remaining. Oh, nice.
Very good crowd control by the Jiao Chan. Once again, I had my Cole up and I really wanted to throw out Cole, but Jiao Chan stunned me for like 3 years. Couldn't do anything about it. And that's really critical. I think one of the biggest weaknesses of Arduin is that he doesn't have any sort of resistance or ability to get around. He's got a lot of crowd control to give, but crowd control can really stop him, even though he has a lot of, fighting ability.
Definitely. Taking down the tower there. Good job, blue team. Talking about a bit of a comeback.
One Talanis. Talanis is doing a lot for our team right now. Holy.
Oh, yeah.
Max is doing quite well as well. But I mean, Talanis just soloed Nacroft, who is a pretty critical member of the enemy team. He's a frontliner and an assassin that can really sort of prevent me from getting to the back line. Or assassinate important members like L'Oreal or Talanis.
Both teams are at 4. Red team taking down some jungle.
Yikes.
Well, the blue team's waiting for that Abyssal pop.
I think we're all looking for that Abyssal pop.
Abyssal's up, but not much commitment yet. As I say, that Crush moves in for the kill. Oh, and pull it back and chooses not to go for it. Here we go. Here's some action. Arduin falling to Chugnar. Wow, Max falling from Dao Chan. And L'Oreal taking out Chugnar. This is going to be anyone's match. Looks like we have another... Yep. Talanis takes down Dao Chan. Will Violet make it out of there alive? Talanis falls to Nacroft. Oh, but it's not over. Oh, it's not over yet. Double kill.
Whew.
And that is a team wipe for blue. Blue is down and out for 20 more seconds. Red has an opportunity to do some damage. They have a ton of minions to back them up. There's that Lubu, as we were talking about earlier with that strategy. Lubu's pushing hard against that tower, taking out as much as they can. There's even a chance they might even push the main base with those 2 ballistas. They're able to get some good damage on the base, but it's probably not going to be enough as Arduin clears that lane. That's a nice 30% chunk.
Really big piece of that coal. It's a really good ability.
Let's circle back to Arduin and follow him for a little bit on the map. That fourth ability, or that passive, you know, that's definitely a hard one to manage for Arduin. As you talked about earlier, what type of suggestions would you have for players that are trying him out for the first time?
You have to really realize that Arduin has a lot of cooldown. The ability to refresh the cooldown on his ultimate Cole makes Cole a really quick and easy sort of ultimate get out. And it's hugely impactful. It's a stun. So always be aware that this stun is a part of your kit and can be used to great effectiveness. And always look to engage with that, and always look for a squishy, because there's quite a lot of range on it. And just remember that just like any other ability, it will, or as very importantly with this ability, is that it will only damage the first enemy and affect the first enemy it hits.
Wow, double kill.
And Bloodlust is really key. It's just there, saved my Heine.
And they're pushing in against the red base. This might be the first victory for Out of Control on all 4 of our Arena of Valor Strats streams.
Oh, please.
Connection issues.
What do you know? What do you know?
Wow.
I think that was it. Yeah, Shook played really well. MVP. I think that Wario was also really, really pivotal in a lot of fights. And yeah, it was just a great game all around. Good job, everyone.
Awesome.
So, yeah, you have to recognize the really good crowd control and damage that Arduin brings to the team. Cole, as I said, really quick cooldown. With his undying ability with the shield, it regenerates really, really quickly. So the moment that you use Cole, get into a fight, activate your shield, start auto-attacking enemies, you have to realize that Cole is cooldown is like 5 seconds away at that point. Your other ability, your knock-up, whenever you hit an enemy champion, it's a nice wave ability that goes through all targets. So if you tag an enemy champion with that, you have a knock-up that's ready on the second cast. One of the big things about Arduin is knowing, what spell to use in the moment of the team fight. Are you going to go for another Cole and try and get onto the back line? Are you going to try and peel with your hammer ability? You have so much that Arduin brings to the table, and you also have to micromanage, of course, your Bloodlust. You want to be auto-attacking as much as you can. Sometimes you want to pause and just focus on auto-attacking, getting onto the board walking, so you have as many targets to hit, and so you get as much HP back, maximum HP back as possible. So I think he's a really good champ. I think he's really fun. He's really good to take up to the top lane. There are other places that you could take him, maybe the jungle, but I would just recommend top lane and really looking for those engages. I think he's a great champ. I enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for coming on out to today's stream. That's pretty much it for today. We're focusing on 2 heroes a week, every week for the last 4 weeks. We are going to be taking a break next week, everyone, giving you guys all a heads up. And we are taking a break next week, so there'll be no streams on Thursdays or Friday of next week. But we should be returning the week after that for some more strats and tips and tricks and fun. So thank you guys all again for coming out today. As we talked about Lubu, as well as Arduin. So we hope you guys enjoy that. I'll go ahead and drop the links in chat again for those Arena of Valor Strats or ALV Strats articles. There's the Arduin and there's the Lubu for you guys to check out. I'll drop it in Facebook in just a minute as well. But any other final thoughts before we wrap this up, Anesthetics or Out of Control?
No final thoughts. Thanks so much for having us. I hope you guys really do take a moment to look at these 2 champions. They have a lot to offer. And your journey through the Arena of Valor. I think you can learn a lot from these 2 champions and really have a fun time playing with them.
Definitely. Well, thanks everyone that showed up for the stream. We look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. And until next time, keep playing those matches, and we'll see you guys around. Take care, everybody.
Good seeing you all.